In which part of the world does your interest focus during this year and why?
Oh, wow. My interests frequently focus on a whole host of different parts of the world. Maybe sometimes too many. But I would say that with that caveat, the most interesting place to me remains China, because it's the most important place. Linked to what I said to your previous question, I think people are just simply unaware of the importance of China. China today is a $9.2 trillion economy. It's more than half the size of the United States. And even relative to the other BRIC countries, China's sort of leaving them behind. People have often tried to compare the potential of China and India simply because they've both got more than 1 billion people. But as I'm fond of saying to people, China creates another India every 2 years. China today is now twice the size of Japan. It's got to being twice the size of Japan in the time period where I originally thought it would take China to be as big as Japan, etc., etc., etc. So a large amount of my time on China. I also find, very quickly, the peripheral euro area to be of interest too, because there are some signs some of these challenged economies are starting to do better.
This is my next question. Which is your estimation, and maybe your prediction, concerning the course of the Greek economy and widely of the European South?
Well, luckily, because I left the world of finance and banking a year ago, I don't have to have predictions anymore, so I don't have to do any of that. So I don't have a specific answer to your question about Greece. I don't really have a strong view. But I have obviously a lot of experience of following various economic indicators and being aware of their reliability and importance. And it seems to me that Greece, not as clearly as, say, Spain or Ireland, but it seems to me there are a number of signs that the Greek economy is showing some kind of recovery. And I wouldn't be surprised if Greek growth were a bit stronger this year than most people say. Mario Draghi has bought policymakers a very large amount of time with his famous, what people call Super Mario moments, when he said in London, what is it now, 18 months ago, actually it's nearly 20 months ago, that he'll do whatever it takes. And that's been a hugely beneficial thing for calming down the crisis. But there is a whole host of structural challenges that persist. And as I said at a conference here, actually, some new ones are being created because of the problems between policymakers. One of the most basic and fundamental policy objectives of the ECB is to keep inflation, or to target inflation, just below 2%. Today, it is less than half that level. And it is probably because of the inability or lack of acceptance by the biggest member, Germany, to allow inflation to go above 2. And if Germany is not going to accept that, then the only way you can't get inflation back to 2% from where it is. And so that's a new problem. And we still have plenty of the other ones involving imbalances between the countries. Germany's current account surplus, 7% of GDP. Banking union has been agreed in name, but we haven't really seen much evidence of them trying to follow through on many aspects of it. And then, of course, there were other issues which had nothing to do with the monetary policy making crowd, but the political figures. Many remaining questions about fiscal policy, and all of these things need to be dealt with in order to have comfort that the crisis is truly behind us.